Today's economics pressures are the topic of every conversation. It seems like every day all we hear is more doom and gloom. I call it the triple punch: recession, business layoffs, and inflation. All together represent a new combination of variables for C-level executives, entrepreneurs, and business leaders. Today I'm going to highlight the biggest mistake leaders make during times of uncertainty and what you should do instead to navigate your business and team through any uncertainty. Let's dive in. Being a business leader is challenging enough, let alone navigating an uncertain economy. Making tough decisions gets even harder when there's constant talk of a looming recession. Let's review the current situation, the biggest mistake most leaders make, and what you should do instead. First, you have a choice. You can choose to play scared, or you can choose to show up as a leader others want to follow. Let's unpack this. When faced with a ton of uncertainty, you can choose to panic or lead. The worst thing you should do is panic. Panic clouds logic and reason with anxiety, inhibiting your ability to think clearly and make rational decisions. When leaders worry about the future, guess what? Their team worries about the future. This uncertainty has a paralyzing effect that stifles productivity and destroys morale. You, the leader, cannot afford to let your worries affect your staff. And when you turn on TV and you hear about Facebook, Amazon, and others announcing layoffs, the knee-jerk reaction is for most leaders is to reduce headcount. Don't just start laying off people. Many of these companies overhired to begin with, and now they either have to trim the fat or course correct. The best course of action you can take right now is to stay calm and take control. Yeah, there may be an opportunity to remove your bottom performers and top grade them in areas where you see the market shifting. That, to me, is just good standard business practice, whether it's a bull market or a bear market. Avoid emotional decisions. Instead, help your leaders embrace key performance indicators to ensure everyone is making well-informed, data-driven decisions and not just acting on their gut. In good times, we tend to get a little sloppy, if we're honest. Right now, you have an opportunity to sharpen the saw on how you and your leaders manage the business. Now is not the time to panic, but instead, the time to operate as good business leaders. The next choice you can make is to delay or hire key employees. When an employee resigns during a recession, you might be tempted to delay their replacement, simply to cut overhead costs temporarily. Remember this: employees are your biggest asset. Consider the impact of an employee's absence on the unfilled position on your production capacity, your operations, and the stress it causes other staff members. You can put your recs on hold and hope to find valuable talent when things get better, or you can aggressively pursue key employees who will catapult your business to the next level. We are in an employer's market right now. Why not take advantage of that? See, in my opinion, this is the best time to hire key employees, and I'm underlining key employees here. Why? Because you have the best shot of prying them away from their current situation, because chances are their leaders are panicking, which makes them vulnerable for you to go recruit them. Another choice you can make is to slash or invest in marketing. Slashing your marketing budget during challenging times might seem like an easy way to cut costs. In fact, this is what most companies do. Let me ask you this: do you want to be like everyone else? Slashing marketing typically does more harm than good. I recommend the opposite. Now is the time to invest more in marketing. When your competition announces layoffs, run a marketing campaign that you're hiring. Some of the best people I've hired over the years were during a down market. They wanted to work for a confident leader, not one who played scared. Which leader are you? Yet another choice you can make is to chase or prioritize every prospect. See, most sales leaders get desperate and start chasing every lead. They become so fixated on revenue that they spin their sales team in 1,000 different directions. Focus instead on your most profitable services and products, and the clients and prospects that value those products and services the most. Resist the temptation to call everything, quote, strategic, so you don't waste valuable resources. Now is also a great time to put in a process, if you haven't already, for qualifying or disqualifying prospects, so you align your sales team's effort with your ideal client. Stop chasing everything and start prioritizing your sales efforts. You can choose to ghost your team or control the narrative. Many leaders are tempted to disengage when they don't have all the answers. What they do is they bury themselves in meeting after meeting after meeting, discussing contingency plans, and which only just basically takes them further away from having a pulse on the business. Acknowledge the elephant in the room. When it's obvious something is changing, good leaders acknowledge it and calmly discuss it. Here's the fact is people are always going to talk, so you might as well control the narrative. Explain what you know, the decisions that you and your team need to make, and what is next. Let your team see you as a confident leader they want to follow into battle, not a scared leader who doesn't know what to do next. If you believe you can overcome any challenge, guess what? So will your team. Lastly, you can choose to dive bomb in or activate your leaders. See, when times get tough, what many leaders do is they feel compelled to dive bomb into every situation, like a fireman dispatched to a fire. Now is not the time to play fireman. Now is the time to get your leaders to step up and earn their leadership badge. Resist the temptation to bury yourself further in the weeds. Don't train your leaders to rely on mommy and daddy to solve their problems. Instead, activate and develop them to free up your time to focus on growing the business. See, your leaders need to feel confident and they need to exude confidence when they're interacting with their teams. And it's your job to help them develop these skills. If you need help with this, go to clevelfreedom.com or follow the link in the description. Here's the truth. Economic challenges are not only disruptive to businesses, they're also tough on employees. You have a responsibility to coach your mid-level leaders not to lose sight of the people whom they can't operate without. Now is the time to invest in your best people before someone else does. Invest in their development so they invest back in you. If you want to activate your team's thought leadership and loyalty, show them how much you care about them and their careers. It's that simple. Here's the bottom line. Watching and waiting isn't an option. It might seem prudent to wait and see the full impact of these headwinds, but worsening economic conditions will make the actions we are surfacing more important, not less. Playing scared is also not an option. If you want to get and stay ahead, it's time to go on the offensive. Strong leadership is needed now more than ever. Exceptional leaders play both short and long game in tough times. They are focused on the results without neglecting their people. And if you strike this balance, you will position your business to not only survive, but thrive during times of uncertainty. Whatever you do, don't isolate yourself. Too much is changing too fast for anyone to walk this path alone. Now is the time to surround yourself with experienced, intelligent people to brainstorm with. People who will help you identify potential blind spots. Don't underestimate the value of objective perspectives. The most successful leaders I know seek help. Reach out to those you trust that can be a sounding board and offer helpful advice. Additionally, great leaders never stop investing in themselves and their teams. They're avid learners. They understand that leadership is a journey regardless of economic conditions. I believe that it's times like these that leaders learn the most. It's easy to be a peacetime leader. It's easy to play mayor, shake hands, kiss babies, and take pictures. It's harder to be a wartime leader. But those are the leaders your team will follow into any battle. If you want to develop courageous leaders in your business who can effectively adapt to whatever challenges emerge, go to clevelfreedom.com and I will show you how to transform your leaders into growth champions so they free up your time to do what you love most, growing the business. you're not at that stage yet, I would like to buy a copy of my book, Freedom to Experiment. How to ignite a new level of energy, focus, and momentum in yourself and your team. Follow the link in the description, and I'll personally sign a copy for you. Okay, if you like what I shared today, do me a favor. Give it a like, comment below, related to your business, and of course subscribe, because each week I'm sharing content to help you and your team embrace change, focus your efforts, and accelerate results. Remember this, you're just one idea away. We'll talk to you soon.